Hello, everyone. Here we are at the end of January.
Wow. Yeah. I'm still trying to get over the fact that 2020 is over. And here we are well into the new year. But there's lots of things moving us along. So, we have lots of opportunities to be together and to think together and plans that are upcoming. So, yeah, let's dig into some of that stuff. I guess the first thing we want to talk about is this Sunday as we continue the anti-racism education piece. So, Amy, do you want to update us on that?
Sure, we're all sort of experts at this by now. We're on our third in the series of anti-racism, working with the work of James Baldwin and his book, The Fire. Next time, we're looking at the second essay. And so there are links available. Those of you who have been using the study guide, we'll send that out again so that you can prepare in your own way. So that will happen during the all church Zoom time as a breakout.
Okay, so, as usual, the kids will join us, go to their Sunday school classes. There'll be a group for fellowship, and then there'll be this third of three anti-racism study groups working with James Baldwin's material. And then, as we move into next month, we'll have some other things coming up, and we'll announce those with a little bit of time do it a little bit ahead of time so that people can begin to think about those other opportunities. But there's more things in the works after we finish this up. Then Sunday evening, we're going to have a fellowship event. So Seth, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So at 7 p.m. in the evening, we're going to have another fellowship sponsored game night. And a couple things I want you to know. One, the commission has sort of sub-themed this game night, sharing snacks and solidarity. And that entails a couple of things. One is we would like people to bring a snack to have while we're together in the evening to enjoy. So that's one thing. Now those folks that are in the manor at Timbercrest, a snack is going to be dropped off and delivered from the commission. So enjoy that snack, whether you're able to be part of the Zoom that evening or not. But then the second part of that sort of sub-theme just encompasses a little bit of the spirit of some of the games and activities that we're going to do, to talk a little bit about some of the things that unite us, some commonalities, some ways of sharing together that will explore some of those themes. So it's going to be a variety of activities, not necessarily just, trivia was the focus last time. So I think that variety will be something different, but I think it'll be a good variety for people as well. And again, for all ages, and we really hope and even expect to have all ages representative of the congregation together participating. And we will move into some breakout rooms, which folks are familiar with. So that's also to say, if you want to go onto different screens, you'll need to log in that way, even if you're in the same family. So, but if you want to travel as multiples, you can as well into those different groups.
Seth, when will that link, or how will that link arrive in people's email box?
Yeah, good question. It will come in the Friday email and then again on Sunday. So those two places.
Okay. Good. So that's at 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. And then looking a little further down the road, not very far, because Ash Wednesday is February 17th. Seth and Amy and I have been talking about worship themes and ideas and some special things to go on during Lent. And one of those things that we would like to do is have congregationally based Lenten devotional, something that we can push out during the season. And Amy, you're going to talk about that.
Yeah, so yes, just like you said, we'll be offering a Lenten devotional with writings from the congregation members. This will be in addition to the denominational Lenten book or any other Lenten practice that folks are planning to engage in. So each week in Lent, beginning right after Ash Wednesday, we'll have one or two writings to offer through the church Facebook group or email, and maybe some other ways. Each week will have its own guiding focus word for reflection. The worship service at the end of each week will also be planned around that word, which are all found in various Psalms. We are inviting you to be one of our writers. On the midweek update email, this email that went out was a link to the sign-up sheet. The writing for the first half of Lent will be due February 15th, and the second half of Lent will be due on March 8th. And you can send them to me at amymcob@gmail.com or to the church office. Just 2 or 3 paragraphs and perhaps an additional 1 to 2 sentence prayer. And I'd love to have a photo of you, formal or a selfie, so we can connect to the writers. Please consider taking a turn at telling a story or reflecting on the word and entertaining the questions that rise up for you in this season of introspection as we move from how Lent takes us from our mortality to our rising. So feel free to email or call me if you're on the fence and just need a little bit of encouragement. I've got lots of encouragement to give. And I'm looking forward to seeing who all signs up and provides these bits of contemplative writing for us. Kurt or Seth, is there anything else that needs to be said?
As you were talking, I was thinking, people might be wondering, like I'm not really a devotional writer. I've read those devotional books that come out seasonally, and I'm not a theological thinker, or I'm not a devotional writer. And we had talked a little bit about how reflections can go any number of directions. It could be, you take the word, and it could be a story that arises from that word, or it could be the way the word, where it takes you. It doesn't have to be polished theological writing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's lots of space.
Lots of space, and I'm hoping that the different styles of writing that are reflected among our folks in our congregation will show up in these, so they don't have to look the same. We want them to look like you, like the writers.
The other thing that I was thinking about is you talked about that we'll send them out during the week. I like that idea of sitting with a word, sitting with somebody's reflection of the word and another person's reflection of the word and my own reflections, and then arriving at Sunday morning and all of us thinking about that together, and then having that kind of rhythm through the season so that we're sharing those thoughts internally. But then also the other thing I was thinking is, as we post a reflection, say on Facebook, it can be shared. You could share it with your friends and your family on your own Facebook page. You could take the email that you've received and send it to other people that you think might like. And so the spread is a lot different than a packet of booklets arriving in the church. And so that maybe is the other part that's a little bit daunting, but also a little bit exciting, because it means that the things that we share, take on their own life. They go out into the world. But that's kind of exciting thing as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to this.
Anything else that you wanted to add about that, Seth?
No, I'm just, it was good to be together, spend some time, pastors thinking through Lent. And I'm really excited about this idea and some of the other things that we have for the upcoming seasons.
Right. There'll be some other things that we'll be talking about as we go forward, get a little closer to Lent. This one we're announcing now because we want to get some things rolling and give people time to begin working on their reflections. So We're a little early for Lent, but not for preparing to be, ready for when it comes.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The last thing that we're going to share today is something that I wanted to share. Hopefully most of you realize that I had applied for a Lilly clergy renewal grant, a sabbatical grant last year, and I was approved for that. And the plan was for me to be on sabbatical this May, June, July, 2021. And as I turn the corner to the new year and look at all the things happening with the pandemic and look at travel plans that I had made and some of the activities that I had hoped to engage in that aren't available now, I decided that I needed to go back to Christian Theological Seminary, which is the organization that administers the grant, and ask them what my options are. And the long and short of it is, because of the limitations of COVID and because of the fact that we don't know when all of that will rise out of the way, that I've asked for and been approved for a delay on my sabbatical. So as of now, the plan is that the sabbatical that was to happen May, June, July this year will happen May, June, July next year in 2022. So I'll be around this year and then take that renewal time next year. And I just wanted to share that. And in the meantime, perhaps I can have some conversations with those of you who are interested in knowing more about the details of what it is I'm planning. But I'm a little disappointed, a little sad about that. But at the same time, it has to be the right time, and I have to be able to do the things that I had planned to do, or else I have to make a whole new plan. And this seems the best path. And maybe just one other thing I'd say about that. After I worked through all this and worked with Julie Garber, who's the congregational representative for the grant, and talked with the board and explained it to them, this week I got another email from Christian Theological Seminary, was sort of a form email saying to all the grant recipients, if you're interested in postponing for a year, or you need to make a change of plans, this is how you do it. And so there are a lot of people in the same boat making the same decision. So it fits with the changes that they were offering at this point as well. Okay.
Well, Kurt, I just want to say that while I'm glad that we'll have your leadership during what could be the transition back into the building at some point, I'm disappointed for your sabbatical being delayed.
Yeah, thanks. It's a weird time, right, for all of us. And I think the thing that I hope for most in the spring into summer is that we will find ways to be back together, even if it's by degrees. And it would be even hard to imagine leaving when we've been apart for so long. So my heart's wish in light of all of this is that the being together comes sooner rather than later, but we'll see what happens. But thanks for that. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that we've covered the things we wanted to cover today. We are, again, as we've said before, we are available to you. We are glad to be in support of you. We're glad for connections, to know what you need. We continue to work at the worship experience and the educational opportunities, youth ministries, fellowship opportunities, all the things that we hope can connect us as we continue through this time. And so we wish all of you good health and good relationship, and we we'll just keep stepping forward. So we will see you Sunday for worship and on from there.
All right.
Glad to be with everyone.